Ladies and gentlemen, how y'all doing today? As you can see, I am back again in my work clothes because I've been, had to go to work, had to come here and come straight to the show and do this thing. So y'all know me down the Playmaker Silence here for a special Playmakers blog show to sit here and talk about the NFL schedule. Y'all saw me yesterday talk about the Rams schedule, but now I'm getting to the entire NFL scheduling. And I'm not gonna do this on my own, so the Bear Man of Texas is here. What's going on, sir?
Hey, how you doing? It's hot down here in Texas. It's already killing me, but well, it's Texas.
It's Texas. I'm in Florida. So what are you saying?
Well, the humidity over here, unbearable.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but you got the beach. You can at least go to the beach.
I work too much to go to the beach. And I ain't lying.
Yeah, I know.
So, and we have another guest with us. Just met this man not too long ago. Lewis, what's going on?
Doing good, man. How you guys doing today?
Doing good. Nice to meet you, Lewis.
Nice to meet everybody. I'm excited.
So you new to the show, and so I'm gonna give you a time to let everybody know what you're about, what you do, so people can get an understanding of what you're all about.
Thank you. I'm the host of the Real Guy Talk podcast over on Twitter. We are also on YouTube and Spotify, and we talk about everything guys talk about. Football, basketball, we talk a little bit of anime. We do a little bit of wrestling, some music, and some movies on the way, a little bit of entertainment. This is just a nice little mix of everything. You can always find us on YouTube, Spotify, Google Podcast, and mainly on Twitter at The Real Guy Talk Podcast. And I'm just excited, man. I'm ready to fire things up.
All right, I like the sound of that. Before we get into what we got going on today, fellas, Bear Man, I'm gonna give you a solo shot because you did an episode yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about it.
Well, with the NFL schedule being released, we found out who the Dallas Cowboys will be playing, and kind of gave my thoughts. But the first point, obviously, I made clear was that I honestly do not care if the critics declare that the Cowboys are tied for 31st as far as easy schedule goes, because when it comes to an easy schedule, we all know that's just a bunch of crap. There's no such thing as an easy schedule, especially when it comes to the Cowboys, because we know that the Cowboys will always find a way to embarrass themselves.
All right.
I mean, that's why the Cowboys Nation, I'm the ultimate heel. I'm the ultimate bad guy. For telling it like it is, for saying repeatedly they're overrated, because they are, but Cowboy fans, of course, as soon as the schedule comes out, what do those fans say that they say every year, gentlemen? Do you guys know?
What is that?
This is our year. Grow up. Enough of that.
It's not y'all year? This is not y'all year?
Nope. Hey, you know me, Playmaker. I'm done. I stopped expecting miracles with this team. I'm done with expectations. Whatever happens. I'll believe. And like you always say, I'll believe it when I see it.
Okay. All right.
What else can I say?
I'm not gonna hold you to it. I know how you is about your Cowboys. You get a bit emotional, So I'm not gonna go there.
It's the emotion, but it's also telling the truth. It's stay away from the BS, from the fake news crap.
Yeah, I get you. All right, gentlemen, let's go right into it because Bear Man alluded to it. As you can see, 2022 strength of schedule. Who's at the top? The reigning defending champion. That would be the Los Angeles Rams. For those of you who know me, y'all know I rep the Rams. I got the hat if you want to see the hat, but I ain't going to do that. All right, so yeah. Rams have the toughest schedule. Who's at the bottom, Bear Man?
Well, what's the NFC least is at the bottom. Oh, there go the whole NFC least.
The Washington Commanders, the Dallas Cowboys, the Philadelphia Eagles, and the New York Football Giants.
The NFC least.
And who's at the top besides the Rams? Oh, well, look, you got the Arizona Cardinals right here at 2. Tied for 5th is the San Francisco 49ers, and then right around the 10 areas, the Seattle Seahawks. That's the NFC West. Go figure. Well,
go figure that the defending champions get the toughest schedule, right? I mean, is that the way it's supposed to go?
I believe so. Lewis, do you think if you win the Super Bowl, you're supposed to have the toughest schedule coming out in that season?
You got to have some type of a strength of schedule. I don't know about the hardest, but I mean, it should be up there.
Yeah, it should.
Got you. By the way, before we dive into more of the strength of schedule, Lewis, what team do you rep?
Me personally, I am a New England Patriots fan. My co-host is a Saints fan, so there's a little bit of a interesting dynamic. You know, we kind of get both sides, but I am on the boat of with Bear here, man. I am a realistic guy. I'm not all into this. We had like this 1 year rebuild, and you know everything's all set and glorious because our division is only gonna get harder. So, realistically speaking, we're screwed.
The best way to describe myself, the best way for me to describe it, I'm the Cowboys fan that Stephen A. Smith would love.
Did you say that for me?
Nope, because I'm dead serious. I'm probably because I'm the fan who tells it like it is. I'm always tearing them apart. God. So yeah, Stephen A. Smith would love me. Yeah. He probably, if he knew me, he'd probably beg me to come on the show.
Well, I had to. Oh yeah, so the prez ain't here.
That's a shame.
Who reps the New England Patriots? But Lewis comes in and he repping the New England Patriots.
Yeah, as the prez declares, he's been a Patriots fan since 1985.
Yeah, so go figure.
I believe him.
One Patriots not here, another Patriot fills in. Then it's how it works up there in Foxborough. One guy leaves, somebody's filled that role.
Well, that's New England for you.
All right, so we look at the strength of schedules now, ladies and gentlemen. Thank y'all for watching. If you're listening on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, get at us, leave your comments in the chat. We are watching all platforms right now, so feel free to chime in. And I didn't do my duties, gentlemen. I forgot to put our ticket at the bottom. There we go. As you can see right here, this is all the platforms that the Playmaker's Bod is on and our website. So, all right, week 1, opening week. As everybody already know, opening night, Buffalo Bills, Los Angeles Rams. Von Miller's coming, but this time he's bringing Josh Allen and the crew with him. He's going to get his ring along with the Rams getting their ring. The banner goes up. And I already talked about it on my show, Ramblin' Talk, on yesterday. Bear man, you listened to it with me and with the judge, sports judge, man, Jonathan Matthews. Your thoughts on opening night?
Well, it's always important for the NFL season to start off with a bang. And, of course, by this point, we already knew that the LA Rams would be playing NFL Thursday because it's always the defending champions that play on opening Thursday. But they really finally decided to make it more interesting than ever. So you got Buffalo and Los Angeles.
Yeah. Huh. And speaking of which, the prez is in the chat. The prez is in the chat, so y'all can have fun chatting with the prez today. All right, Lewis, opening night.
Ricky's basically kind of the same tone that I'm always in, but except it's Ricky that's always telling me to have more faith in my Cowboys.
Yeah, so I guess. Hold on. Before we get to opening, before I let Lewis talk about opening night, the prez is a Patriot fan. He said 8-9 season. Do you agree with that for the Patriots?
Yeah, no, that's not a horrible. That's around that mark. We're gonna be around that 9-10 range again. 8 does not surprise me. Our stretch following Thanksgiving is hell. It is a stretch from hell after Thanksgiving.
Especially for Dallas, too. The month of December is usually not a good thing for Dallas.
Man, we might need to put up that schedule to see what that schedule look like. But all right, Lewis, opening night, Bills, Rams, SoFi Stadium.
So excited. It's funny. I was giving Rams, just crap all season long. I wasn't convinced. It took them literally basically to the playoffs to win me over for me to be like, all right, they're a legitimate contender. And now they're here. And I'm a Patriots fan. I look at Buffalo, and I think the AFC in general runs through Buffalo. So we might have a Super Bowl matchup right here that we're going to see as a last game to open the season. So I'm excited for this game. I think Josh Allen is the real deal.
All right. So, I already know. Like I said, I talked about a Ramblin' Talk yesterday. No point in me going back over it again. Just listen to Ramblin' Talk. Ricky is saying leading off with a trip to lead loss in Miami. So, I'm going to come back to you, Lewis. Y'all are going to Miami. Y'all don't do well in Miami. Even when the GOAT was there, y'all didn't do good in Miami.
Nope.
So how you feel about your boys heading back down to South Beach?
Must be the Heat.
I don't know what it is. They beat us. They swept us last season. We couldn't get a win. If everybody remembers, they lost 7 games in a row at one point, but that one win they had to start the year was against us, and then they ruined our playoff chances last season. So, I mean, Miami's been a thorn in our side for the last basically 3 or 4 seasons now. They're always causing us problems. And if we go down to Miami and we lose, I'm not even going to be surprised. We don't have an offensive coordinator. Tua has all these interesting weapons. I guess this is a make or break year for Tua, but if anything is going to have to be in our defense, and even then it's a little shaky because Belichick feels like he's losing a little bit of a step, losing all these players, kind of letting all these our best players leave. You know, we lost J.C. Jackson and Gilmore in back-to-back seasons. I don't know what the plan is this year.
So, all right.
In Belichick's case, it's like a guy who was once a king that ruled with an iron fist, and now it's all that power is just going away. It's almost like he knows he's going to be overthrown. Oh. But as far as Miami goes, and I still want to address this situation because I'm still very disappointed that they fired Brian Flores because I still feel that was a stupid mistake. I mean, the coach they hired, I mean, we'll have to wait and see. At least they hired somebody with a resume, so at least that's a smart approach. But still, I feel like firing Brian Flores was bad. And if this season actually goes bad for Miami, part of me will be convinced that. I mean, as silly as it sounds, like the curse of Brian Flores. It's. I mean, I'm telling you, I think it's gonna bite them right in the ass if it hasn't yet.
Okay. All right, that's one of the 1 o'clock games. Bearman, what's a 1 o'clock game you looking at right here?
I'm looking at several. I mean, Baltimore and the New York Jets is actually something I'm really looking at because the New York Jets. Really? We gotta give them credit for that fantastic draft that they had, but. We've seen teams. How many times have we seen teams do very good in the draft, and then the season turns out to go down the toilet? We've seen that numerous times. I mean, we probably see it every year. But the New York Jets, under the head coach Robert Saleh, the Jets did have some improvements, but you're not just going to rebuild and just jump like that. I mean, it might happen, but not with the Jets. But I am curious to see how the Jets do this season.
All right. Okay. Besides the Patriots head down to Miami, Lewis, what 1 o'clock game are you looking at for the opener?
It got to be that the Bengals, Pittsburgh. It's an early matchup. Got to see, is it Kenny Pickett? Is it Rudolph? Is it Trubisky? What are the Bengals looking like? Steelers defense is what it is. Is that O-line for Cincinnati really as sturdy? Is it a fluke year? I think that's sort of one of the early feeling out games, especially in that division where those teams are going to beat the hell out of each other all season long.
You're right.
Well, did Cincinnati? Well, I know they got Lyle Collins, but did they address the offensive line issue to the fullest? Because the offensive line protection was what killed them in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they brought in Ted Karkas from us up in New England, and they grabbed Ali Marpet from the Bucks.
Okay.
And I think they drafted another O-lineman, if I'm not mistaken.
All right, he said Bengals, Steelers. Was that a fluke year for the Bengals? As most people would probably be thinking, Bearman. Was that a fluke year? They just happened to hit a stride, they hit that magic run. But now that everybody got a feel for them, is this when they come back down to earth? And first up is one of your biggest rivals in the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I like that pick. I like that. I'm looking at it. How about this? We talking about rivalries, right? The Saints head into the Falcons in week 1. Now I'm doing that for my sister, honestly, because that's her most hated team. She hate the Falcons more than she hate goddamn Tom Brady. I mean, she hate the Saints more than she hate Tom Brady. Okay. But out the gate, so we talking Jamie Wilson is back. They just signed Jarvis Landry. Michael Thomas is coming back. They drafted Chris Olave from Ohio State. You've got the Honey Badger in the safety area. Sean Payton's no longer the coach. It's Dennis Allen's team now. And then you go over to the Atlanta side. Marcus Mariota is going to be the starter, but who's sent behind him? Desmond Ridder from Cincinnati being drafted. No Calvin Ridley for the entire year. So what does Kyle Pitts level rises up even more this season. I'm looking at this one. I'm like, this is going to be an interesting one for both of these teams to see how it's going. Now, before I get to the 4 o'clock games, I got to throw another one out here. Bearman, who ended Carson Wentz season last year?
Carson Wentz was with the Indianapolis Colts.
So who ended the Colts season? Because remember, the Colts were fighting for a playoff spot.
Mm-hmm.
Who beat them for them not to get into playoffs?
Was it Houston?
It was the Jaguars.
Oh, that's right, the Jaguars. Oh, yeah, now I remember that game. Yeah, I remember your tweet now. It's all coming back to me.
Who was the quarterback for the Washington Commanders?
It's Carson Wentz.
Who do they play in week 1?
The Jacksonville Jaguars.
Well, how fitting.
And it's in Maryland.
So the team that ended Carson Wentz's season with the Colts is the exact same team that he has to open his new team with. Talk about the NFL being funny this year.
I mean, the Jaguars, not only they had a decent draft, but in free agency they made some moves.
As you look at this schedule, the NFL got a sense of humor. I don't think y'all noticed it. And look at this. Carson Wentz got to deal with the Jaguars again to open the season. We got Carolina playing Cleveland. As of right now,
I wonder who's going
to Baker Mayfield is still with the Browns. Robbie Anderson said he don't want Baker Mayfield in Carolina, but Carolina want Baker Mayfield. What the hell's going on here?
I mean, this whole thing with Deshaun Watson, it's like I said not long ago, it's still not over yet. Because the NFL could still decide to suspend him, and I would have figured they probably would have made a decision by now. But we know the whole thing with Roger Goodell. As far as Cleveland goes, I mean, the first question is who's going to be at quarterback? Is it going to be Baker? Is it going to be Watson?
I say the NFL got a sense of humor. And speaking of sense of humor, let's look at the 4 o'clock games. I'll kick it off. Didn't we see this game as the last game of the regular season last year? This game right here?
Green Bay and Minnesota?
No, the Raiders and Chargers. Wasn't that the last game of the regular season?
I believe so. Well,
it's the Raiders.
It's not the first time that they've kicked off a season.
So this was the last game of the season to find out who's going to make the playoffs when we all know it was the Las Vegas Raiders, by the way. Now we're going to kick it off with Raiders, Chargers up in SoFi Stadium.
The site of WrestleMania.
And the site of WrestleMania is correct. Lewis, is this the only game you're looking at? There's another game in the 4 o'clock hour. You like, you know what? I want to watch that.
I got that Green Bay Minnesota game.
Yeah.
Green Bay, Minnesota, that game is going to have a lot of early filling out process on who's going to win this division. I mean, are we convinced that receiving core is going to be able to help Aaron Rodgers get to the promised land? I mean, number 1 seed 2 years in a row. We know what Justin Jefferson is, Adam Thielen, Cook. I mean, that's a really good Minnesota team. I think this is Minnesota's way. You get off the gate early. You're at home. Punch them in the mouth fast. Yeah.
Except Viking fans, specifically our good friend Darnell, Mr. Mark Broverman, he doesn't trust Captain Kirk very much. I mean, honestly, I think I can honestly say he doesn't trust Kirk Cousins one bit.
Where is Broverman at? Ricky, find me Broverman. Why he go do that? I did say the NFL got a sense of humor, right?
Yeah, and sometimes that sense of humor, it does get pretty sick.
Sunday Night Football, Bearman. What is that? What is that on Sunday Night Football?
Oh, well, that will be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers visiting Arlington, Texas. I told myself, is it customary for them to save the best for last? I mean, but then again, it's the Monday Night Football game. It's the last game of the week. But I guess for that particular Sunday, I guess they decided to save the most exciting game for last.
Wow. Okay.
It's funny. Back-to-back years. Last year, it was in Tampa. Now it's in Arlington.
So last year, Lewis, this was the game that kicked off the season.
Yep.
In Tampa. It escaped that one. Dak Prescott looked good throwing for over 400 yards, just lost by a field goal.
And I gave him that, even though everybody knows I'm not a Prescott fan. I gave him that credit.
Now is in Arlington, Texas. The GOAT decided to come back for one more year. So here we go, round 2. Lewis, how
we all knew the retirement would be short-lived. I think I speak for us. We all knew that he was going to come back.
I was still enjoying it. You know how great of a feeling it was for me to say that my team ended the GOAT.
Yeah. Hey, well, the way it ended, yeah, we all knew Tom Brady's not going to end it on that way.
Damn it. The only person that's happy that he didn't retire besides Tampa in there is Jalen Ramsey, because Jalen Ramsey, I don't know if you saw his tweet. It's like, thank you. Throw that last touchdown from somebody else, please. But Lewis, it's the GOAT versus Prescott. The GOAT versus America team.
Yeah,
America's team.
Yeah, Brady's probably gonna torch him up. No offense to the Dallas Cowboys. I just feel like it was kind of a step in the wrong direction. You know, lost some receivers in the receiver room, lost Randy Gregory. The draft was a little questionable. I know the Tyler Smith draft pick had Dallas Twitter in a frenzy. I don't know. It's interesting. McCarthy, this is going to be a year if you're the coach or not. We heard the Sean Payton stuff swirling around. So, I mean, it's a McCarthy hot seat. And to start the season against Brady, who was most likely going to go on a redemption tour after last season, I mean, they were only a couple plays away from beating the Rams. They fought back all the way. I think he's just going to be ever so motivated to just go out there and get it done. And sadly, Dallas is the first team that has to feel the wrath of the unretired Brady.
Big time. It's not so much the defense that I'm worried about. It's more of the offense, because the Cowboys' offensive line is still a major problem. I don't trust Dak Prescott. I don't trust Ezekiel Elliott. But most of all, I don't trust Kellen Moore, the offensive coordinator, because of his whatever habit you want to call it of the conservative play calling and calling the most ridiculous plays at the most ridiculous times. I mean, how could you? I mean, you can argue with me about not having faith about Elliott or Prescott, but at this point, me not trusting Kellen Moore, I mean, that's justified. It's solidified and justified because we've seen just how clueless he is when it with the conservative play calling. I mean, it's pathetic. I mean, he still has Jason Garrett mentality in his head, and it won't go away.
All right, so the NFL humor is going to continue because, I mean, what? You have to have a sense of humor to do what you did for Monday Night Football. I'm just going to say that.
Well, this game, I really want to know the thoughts of Mr. John Misak, a.k.a. the critical Broncos fan. I mean, there's that sense of humor you were talking about, Darnell. Russell Wilson back in Seattle, but this time he's not with Seattle. He's with Denver. So
his first game with the Broncos is him going back home.
They did that on purpose.
They definitely did it on purpose.
The sense of humor of the NFL is ridiculous this year. Look, I mean, damn, like, why my first game with the new team got me going back to where I came from?
Okay, well, let's be honest. In our case, this is definitely something we never probably would have thought it would happen, but hey, we're excited for this.
Of course. It's basically Russell wasn't facing his team, and everybody the Broncos traded to get Russell wasn't facing their team. And by the way, the Prez had an early pick on them there, man. Did you see it in the comments?
Yeah, I did.
He's picking the Seahawks.
Now I really want to know how John feels about that.
Oh my gosh.
Well, let's be honest. I mean, John and Ricky. I mean, they're basically like two wrestlers always in a major promo feud.
Lewis, Russell Wilson's first game as a Bronco is back in the Pacific North.
Yeah, that's a very interesting decision. That division, honestly, both of these divisions are going to be interesting to see who walks out of the West on the AFC and the NFC, because that's one of the other two more divisions that are going to be going at it. But I think it's maybe best, if it was going to fall on the schedule, he knew he was probably going to have to play them this year, get it out the way early. First game, it is what it is. You get all that stuff out the way, and then just try to focus on football, because it's kind of like when Brady came to Foxborough. It's all that emotion and everything. You get all built up into it. Just get it over. You got the standalone game on a Monday. Go up there, win, and get out.
All right. That is the week 1 slate. All right. Like I said, the NFL got a sense of humor. Believe me. Carolina and Cleveland is a sense of humor game to me. I don't know why you put that sense of humor with the Patriots fan, because you got them going right back down to Miami after they just finished the season at Miami. Speaking of finished the season, Carson Wentz just finished playing the Jaguars and getting criticized for not showing up against Jacksonville. Now he got to open up against Jacksonville. What is going on here? Oh, we ended the season with the Raiders and the Chargers. Let's run it back opening week, shall we? Oh, your first game of the week last year was Broncos and Cowboys. Did very well, had a very close game. Let's make it Sunday Night Football. And then we're going to send Wizards back to the 7-0 boys just for the hell of it. Week 1. All right, so that's week 1. As most people, y'all got a sneak peek of what's the next slide that we're going to talk about. And that is Thanksgiving Day, gentlemen. The Bills versus the Lions, 12:30. That's the CBS game. 4:30 on Fox, the Giants and the Cowboys. That was an interesting choice. But to close it out on NBC, the Patriots and the Vikings. So, gentlemen, let's go on. Starting with Lewis, we have the Buffalo Bills on Thanksgiving yet again against the Detroit Lions.
Sorry, Lions. You do this every year. You know, you get on the Thanksgiving stage, you get beat by somebody, and it is what it is. But, I mean, you're there, I guess. You know, you got one of these sort of primetime games. It's not all that great. You know, you do got some pieces you brought in from the draft. Hutchinson, brought in Williams. You got all these different pieces, but I mean, quarterback's still a little questionable. Dan Campbell, I don't know if he's still biting kneecaps or whatnot, but Buffalo's probably just going to go ahead and steamroll. They steamrolled New Orleans last year. I think it was 31-6. It's probably going to be uglier than that.
I think me and Bearman have been campaigning to get the Lions off Thanksgiving for how long? I don't think they listen to us, Bearman, because they gave the Lions the goddamn Buffalo Bills out of all teams.
And the Lions have been hosting Thanksgiving for God knows how long. They're not going to stop it.
It's the Bills. Why the Bills?
I mean,
everybody knows what's coming to Detroit now. Everybody knows how this game is going to end. So you know, Ricky can do the same thing way he did last year. You know what? All right, I'm up. Oh, the 12:30 game from the start. I'm gonna go back to sleep because we already know what's going to happen. Oh, he already put it in the chat. See, he already beat him. See, all right, I know this man very well. Like this is the game when you be like, all right, I think I'm gonna go out, do whatever I need to do real quick, and because we know what's gonna happen. All right, Bear Man. I remember I said the NFL got a sense of humor, right?
Yeah.
How in the world they did this game right here in the middle on Fox?
I mean, an NFC East showdown on Thanksgiving, it happens, I suppose, but the Giants and Cowboys on Thanksgiving, that'll be the first time in 30 years.
30 years?
Yeah.
I want to know what made him do that. Giants, Cowboys. I mean, but it is the rivalry. Bear Man, y'all been looking shaky on Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Haven't won a game since 2018 on Thanksgiving. Been getting embarrassed the last 3 years.
And now, the Giants. Now, speak to me of how the Giants did in the draft, because to me, they did a hell of a job in the draft.
I mean, they did it. They got a good head coach.
So, are you worried about this game when it get down to week 12?
Damn right I am.
All right, Lewis. Like I said, Giants had a hell of a draft. They had a hell of a Kayvon Thibodeau, Evan Neal. I'm like, damn. They worked on both sides on the line. That's what they wanted. And we already know the Cowboys is the America's team. They're always going to be on Thanksgiving. They ain't even know. See, we can boycott the Lions. Ain't no boycotting the damn Cowboys.
Yeah, no. I think the Giants, I think this is sort of the year that they should words around should make that next step. Added a bunch of pieces, new coach, just really trying to flush everything out. Makes sense putting them on there. You got the rivalry game. Dallas, Jerry Jones probably threw some money around, give me a freebie. That Raiders game last Thanksgiving was not good. But yeah, I mean, good for the Giants trying to just really bounce back here. It's been a horrible couple seasons. Danny Dimes is on the same boat with Tua and maybe even Jalen Hurts. If they flame out this year, they're getting kicked to the curb.
I agree 100%. Sticking with Lewis because your team is at the bottom of that list, sir.
Yeah,
that's the primetime game.
Yeah, it is our first Thanksgiving game since 2012's butt fumble game against the Jets. If anybody remembers Mark Sanchez,
that was the primetime game of that Thanksgiving.
I know that Ricky does.
So yeah, I mean Minnesota, like I said earlier, it's running back. They got the offense. They have some really interesting pieces on defense. I think it should honestly be a really good game. They should be feeling momentum potentially, but this is where that stretch comes in where it's hell. It's Minnesota, then we have Buffalo, then we have the Cardinals, then we got Raiders, Miami, Cincinnati, and we close off with Buffalo somehow. So right here,
we peaked that again. We peaked that stretch again.
It is Minnesota. Then we got to play Buffalo. Then we play the Cardinals. Then we play the Raiders. Then we play Cincinnati. Then we play Miami. And then we end the season playing Buffalo.
Damn, that's a hell of a stretch.
Yeah. So once we get here, we get a bye week in week 10. We take on the Jets, which hopefully on a bye week will be a nice softball game. And then it's Thanksgiving. From there, it's on for 7 weeks. It's on for 7 weeks.
Bearman, you just heard that stretch. That's a hell of a stretch.
It is.
Oh my gosh. Now I know why Ricky didn't want to be on, because he seen that stretch and he was like, you know what? I'm not even talking about that stretch. That stretch is just unfair.
And that's not even including we got Baltimore and Green Bay in back-to-back weeks 3 and 4.
Good gracious. Woo. We say Bill Belichick is the go-to coaches in the NFL. If he made it out that stretch with a winning record, he is, goddammit. Because damn. I think you named just about every playoff team except for the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, pretty much. And that's it. I don't know why we have to save both the Buffalo games for the back half. I don't know why we got to play those in like a 6-week stretch. I don't like that either.
Good. I thought my team had a stretch.
And Buffalo plays Detroit the week before playing us. Come on.
Oh, so it's basically y'all is them and the Lions, y'all and the Vikings. Then next week is y'all two. Ooh.
Yep. It's a Thursday night football game, week 13 versus Buffalo. And they get a warm up with that. That is, I want to say it's in New England. I want to say.
Okay, it's in New England. So y'all got something going y'all way. Damn. That's a hell of a stretch. Whew. All right, Bearman, what you thinking about the primetime game for Thanksgiving? Patriots and Vikings.
It's a game I'm curious to see. I mean, I wonder if the Vikings will be able to actually get it done at home against New England. That would certainly be huge.
All right, so that's your Thanksgiving slate right there, ladies and gentlemen. And we go from Thanksgiving to Christmas. Packers, Dolphins kicking it off at 1 p.m. on Fox. The simulcast of CBS and Nickelodeon, they get the Denver Broncos and the Los Angeles Rams. And the primetime game on NBC will be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Arizona Cardinals. Now, before I let the two gentlemen get in here first, I know some of y'all want me to address the fact that it's called Christmas. It's the Christmas Day game. Why does people want me to address it? Because, Bearman, what is Christmas usually for?
Family and relaxation, a time of happiness.
You're correct. But what sport usually takes over Christmas?
Basketball.
Remember I said they NFL got a sense of humor?
Yep.
We ain't looking at just any teams playing on Christmas. We talking Aaron Rodgers against a Tua who, like Lewis said, job is pretty much on the line this year. Because they got Tyreek Hill, they got Chase Edmonds, they got some weapons over there, correct? Russell Wilson has to come back to LA to face the Rams on Christmas. Why NFL? Why you do Russell Wilson like that? He was trying to get away from Aaron Donald, not see Aaron Donald. And then you got the GOAT himself going to take the trip to the desert, the trip where the Super Bowl is going to be played at, and Kyler Murray has to sit across and watch the GOAT do what he do best. Now, let's dive into it, fellas. Lewis, Packers, Dolphins.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really matter to Aaron Rodgers. He don't have no kids. He broke up with his girlfriend and all that. He don't give a damn about playing football on Christmas. This probably to him looks like an easy game, an easy Christmas game. Again, Tua's on the hot seat. But, I mean, hey, this might be a chance. Not being on these Thanksgiving games, you kind of slide over to Christmas, try to get another primetime slot. Maybe Tua can light things up. You know, Tyreek Hill on the outside with Jalen Waddle, Mike Gesicki, Chase Edmonds, Mostert. They've signed like every running back imaginable on that roster right now. It's hilarious. But the defense is still good, and Brian Flores has left a good impression on that defense. They came through really strong. I mean, it's going to come down to this game is going to have some serious implications because who's going to be there for the ride with Aaron Rodgers?
Good question. Bearman. A-Rod going to South Beach.
It's just interesting going from the freezing tundra of Green Bay to the nice and sunny and warm Miami on Christmas Day. Funny, right? We've been talking, this whole thing with Green Bay, the wide receiver. I mean, they still have a decent wide receiver core, but without Devontae Adams there, it's probably going to be something we look at all season. But we'll have to see how things go for Green Bay. I mean, at this point in Aaron Rodgers' career, it's we just have to wait. We just have to wait and see.
Okay, Bearman, sticking with you because Russell Wilson's heading back to LA to face that team that he can't stand because he's always getting beat up by them. Yeah. And to make it more fun, we get the slime. What to go with it. By the way, I probably will be watching the Broncos Rams games on Nickelodeon on purpose. So, Bearman, what you got?
On Nickelodeon, too.
It is on Nickelodeon.
I mean, it is in Los Angeles, right? It makes sense.
So, your thoughts on Russell Wilson heading back to L.A.?
Well, he went back to Seattle, so he'll be back in familiar territory, right?
Yep. Against his arch nemesis that he has a terrible time with.
Yeah. Well, at least since they moved to Los Angeles, at least when they were in St. Louis, it was a different story.
No, since they drafted Aaron Donald.
Oh yeah.
Lewis, Wilson, Aaron.
It's
Donald,
not going to be a good.
time.
It's not going to be a. It's probably not going to be a good day for Russell Wilson.
It may not be, but Lewis, Aaron Donald gets one more shot at Russell Wilson yet again.
Yeah, actually, this might be the best game on that day, to be honest. It might be the best game on Christmas Day. Really good defenses, really good offenses, some really good quarterbacks. I mean, it's going to be exciting, but, Nathaniel Hackett being the coach first year, going up against McVay, this will be one of the many big games. The Broncos play a couple really big games. This is going to be one of them, going up against the defending champ. I'm really interested to see, how Russell Wilson's going to work with some of these young wide receivers, a young running back with Javonte Williams. This game, it could even be one of the better games of the whole entire season, not just the day.
All right. And like I said earlier, the GOAT head down to the desert to take on Kyler Murray in the Arizona Cardinals. Hey, DeAndre Hopkins will be back from his 6-game suspension well before then, so he would have had some games under his belt, so he already know what's going on with the offense and stuff like that. James Conner is the man in the back because we talked about Chase Edmonds going to the Dolphins. You still got Zach Ertz. You lost Christian Kirk to Jacksonville. but you still have Wandale Moore. Keith Kingsbury, I will give him this credit. Each year, the Cardinals have improved. They finally cracked the barrier, made the playoffs, and we all know who they ran into. So, Lewis is the GOAT and Kyler Murray.
Yeah, this goes to another one of those NFL being funny. Brady, nowhere near Florida for Christmas. How ironic is that? Like, how did that just so happen to end up that way? So, I mean, it is what it is. I'm a little on the other side with Cliff Kingsbury. Verdict's still out on Kingsbury. All his teams have collapsed in their second half of their season since like high school. Like this has been a trend for years. I'm not sold that. I was convinced last year. They had me last year. They really did, and they disappointed me. I'm not rocking with Arizona. Kyler got too much going on. The Hollywood Brown trade, the Christian Kirk. There's a lot of things going on. They lost Jones on the defense to the Raiders. It's going to be weird. Arizona's not in a great spot. Another team on that Tom Brady redemption tour.
You know what? I was trying to forget that Hollywood Brown trade on purpose. I was freaking pissed off when I saw that damn trade. And then he was already in Arizona like that.
Yep.
God damn it. Bearman, I'm just going to ask you this. What is Kyler Murray going to learn from the GOAT?
First of all, is Kyler Murray even going to be there?
That's a good question. But most likely, I'll say yes. But that's a good question, though.
Even if he's there, he's with whatever's going on. If he's not motivated, not committed, I don't even think he's going to be playing at that point of the season. I mean, didn't he he removed any mention or any whatever regarding the team? He obviously doesn't want to be there. There's not been any news about anything positive happening. So right now I'm asking, is he even going to be there?
He'll be there. He'll be there because Arizona's like the only team that's really paying. And the thing is, you know what? Let me bring this down real quick because I got to say this. You know what Kyler Murray is doing right now? He's being Ben Simmons right now. That's what he's doing right now. Look, if I was on Sports Arena right now, I'd have my boy Eric Wilson do his little air rant thing for me because I'll be going on a rant right now. Look here. You play horrible in the wild card game against the team that ended up winning the Super Bowl. It happens. Okay? People are going to say stuff about you because guess what? You played terrible. You quit. That's how Colt McCoy got in the game. Kingsbury didn't pull him. He told Colt McCoy go ahead and get in. He quit. He was getting his barrel run. And there's nothing you can do about it. Because guess what? There was no DeAndre Hopkins to bail you out this time. AJ Green is not the Cincinnati AJ Green. All right? So you got your ass walked. Get over it. Get ready for the season and come play. All right? Now let me bring this back up. That's all I need to say on that, all right? So hopefully Tom Brady beat the brakes off y'all. Just for the hell of it. Well, that is a good question. Prayers, will he be healthy? But that's something to see. Now, Thursday night football. And for those of you who get it twisted and whatnot, opening night between the Bills and the Rams is on NBC, like it's always been. The first game of the year is always on NBC for that Thursday night. After that is something different. This year is different. There's no CBS. There's no Fox. There's no NBC. It's all Amazon Prime Thursday night, which is why they did what they did by getting Al Michaels and Kirk Herbstreit getting the call. So Amazon cashing in. Let's go ahead and call it what it is. Amazon wasn't playing, they cashing in. Lucky for me, I already got Amazon Prime, so I can watch all Thursday night games. But all right, kicking off Thursday night for the Michaels and Herbstreit crew is the Chargers at the Chiefs. Bearman.
Chargers at the Chiefs. You know, all these games being on Prime Video, I'm just like, you know what? It's probably these are probably just a bunch of games I really don't mind missing.
Really? Chargers and Chiefs? They
I
kicked it
mean, like
off?
except for that one, maybe, but I mean, I used to have Amazon Prime, but not anymore. Just didn't want to pay for it anymore. But it's, but aside from that, you're gonna look at New Orleans and Arizona. That's probably something I might keep my eye out for, or
New Orleans,
Tennessee,
Arizona?
or Tennessee and Green Bay.
But for that to be a Thursday night game, that is a game I have to watch. Derrick Henry and Lambeau Field against Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, my eyes on that one right there.
As far as the Chargers and the Chiefs go, I mean, I did say that the Broncos, Chargers, and the Raiders I mean, they're sick and tired of the Chiefs ruling that division with iron fist. So I did say in that particular piece, expect some competition now.
Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa, J.C. Jackson, Derwin James. They got a defense. But Lewis, the game that you referenced to earlier. There you go. Week 13.
Yeah, sad. Horrible. It is horrible to think about, but that should be a good game. Obviously, lined up against Buffalo. It is what it is. Hopefully, we hit him with our best shot, man, or we get a freak snowstorm or something again. You never know.
Besides that game, what's another game on Thursday night you don't mind watching?
Oh no, there's definitely a few. I think that Bucks Ravens game is going to be a big one to keep an eye on, and that stretch, Tennessee Green Bay in Week 12, Week 13, obviously the Bills Pats. That Raiders Rams game is going to be amazing. They've got a pretty decent stretch, and then obviously we close out with Cowboys and Derrick Henry. That's something I'm going to be interested as sort of that last Thursday game.
Bearman, y'all going to Nashville to close out Thursday night football. You're going against King Henry. Go ahead, talk about it.
If miraculously the Cowboys have the NFC least secured, yes, I did say NFC least. If by then miraculously they have that secured in a first round bye, then I say screw it, just put in the backups. But that's probably something that'd be in a situation. If that happens, you do that in the final week against the Washington Commanders. That's what I said on my show. If miraculously a first round bye is secured for Dallas, then you know what? Let Washington have their fun. But this game, that might be a game where if they were to clinch it, this might be it. But yeah, they're not winning in Tennessee.
So I want y'all to put a pin right here at week 14, okay? Because remember, that's week 14 for the Rams. Week 15 is Christmas. I want y'all to keep that in mind. I talked about it on Rams Talk, but I'm gonna talk about it on here too. Because we heard Lewis talk about the stretch for the Patriots, and it's a 7-game stretch. The Rams got a hell of a stretch too. So we already covered Thursday night. Then we got Christmas. Continue on. Because that's Thursday night. By the way, that's a good call on that Ravens Bucks game. I did not see that for Thursday night. I don't know how I missed that.
That one in the Colts Broncos game in week 4 or 5 is going to be a good game too. Good defense.
Lamar Jackson versus Tom Brady is something that I want to look. I got to watch. So I got to keep that in mind. Sunday night football. Now, we already talked about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going against the Dallas Cowboys to open up Sunday night football. So that's a nice double duty for Mike Tirico and Chris Collinsworth going from Bills Rams up in the LA to Bucks Cowboys down in Arlington, Texas. But Lewis, talk to me. What Sunday night game are you looking forward to?
There's definitely a few. I'm looking at that Chargers game later down in the year against the 49ers. I think the 49ers are in a big, we got the Jimmy Garoppolo, the Debo. There's a lot going on in there. What is that team going to look like down in week 11, 12, 13, down the stretch when they were able to figure it out and push to the playoffs? Trey Lance, is he that guy? That's going to be a nice matchup. Another Cowboys game against the Colts. I'm really liking the Colts' defense. Running game, I think Donnie Taylor's a beast. I think that's going to be another really interesting matchup. And then we play the Raiders on the road, which is going to be a hell of a game to wrap up our Sunday night football.
All right, Bearman, y'all got a couple of Sunday night. Y'all got 3 Sunday night games. Bucks, Then at Philly, that should be something to watch. And then the Colts come to Arlington. Which of the 3 games is most important to you, my friend?
Probably against the Colts because it's going to be in December. It's the first game of December for Dallas.
Colts. Matt Ryan replacing Carson Wentz. You still got Jonathan Taylor, Michael Pittman Jr. Still got that defense. So, okay. That should be something to watch. All right.
It's interesting how the Cowboys play the Colts every 4 years. It was in 2006, 2010. Well, yeah, 2014 and 2018.
That's all the years y'all played in the AFC South.
Yeah. So that game against Houston, and that division, it's going to be in Arlington. That's definitely something I'm actually going to have my eyes on.
All right. So besides the 3 Cowboy games on Sunday,
the one against Philadelphia, Philadelphia's probably heavily favored to win the NFC least. But as Ricky has pointed out, Philadelphia has a habit of shitting the bed, but also, Dallas does too. So I think at that point in October, because it's going to be on October 16th, I mean, we're going to have to see how the teams are doing by then. If Dallas is doing strong and Philadelphia is struggling, that probably won't seal anything, because Philadelphia could actually turn things around while Dallas can actually mess it up. But at that point, around the middle of the season, it's just going to be who's got the edge, who doesn't. But then it's still not going to be over.
All right. Outside of your team, what Sunday night game you like? I have to watch this. I can't miss this game.
On Sunday Night Football?
Sunday Night Football.
Probably the one against the Colts, honestly. I mean, week one's obvious, but aside from that, I mean, probably against the Colts.
So
if we're talking about the Cowboys, but
now I'm talking about outside of the Cowboys.
So outside the Cowboys, probably the Chargers and the Rams, because that's the Battle of Los Angeles. And of course, there's Chicago and Green Bay, and the Chargers versus the 49ers. Got a little California battle going on there.
Remember, I told you put a pin in that Rams Raiders Thursday night game. Yeah, we got a game in week 15. Then week 16 is Christmas with the Broncos. I misspoke on that. The week after that is week 17, the battle for LA, Rams, Chargers. I'm telling you that stretch is something to watch. I'm looking at it, and what I'm seeing is one thing steps out to me. How about Aaron Rodgers going up to Buffalo to take on Josh Allen?
Yeah, that one's going to be a hell of a game. That one, I'm looking at it now, and I'm like, all right, I missed that one. And next week, Tennessee, Kansas City, those are going to be 2 hellacious Thursday night back. What's the Sunday night back-to-back? That's going to be tough.
Yeah, I'm like, Sunday night. That's why people love Sunday night football, because they give us the matches that we want to see. Okay. So that's Sunday night. And then we get to what we call Monday Night Football. Joe Buck, Troy Aikman no longer with Fox. They are with ESPN. They get the Monday night slate. We already talked about Russell Wilson going back to Seattle. What a way to kick off Joe Buck and Troy Aikman's ESPN career. Then, there's a lot of games on here. So, Bearman, y'all got the Giants on Thanksgiving. But before y'all get to Thanksgiving, y'all play at the Giants on a Monday Night Football game.
Yeah, how interesting is that? You got the Giants on Monday Night Football and on Thanksgiving.
So the NFL want rivalries to be the spotlight this year, you can say.
I mean, you might as well, because they're trying to. All the drama that's been going on in the NFL lately, with the terrible officiating and the ridiculous rules and the play. I mean, the NFL is trying to. There's something going on. They're trying to, secure at least somewhat of a positive reputation and some excitement. I mean, they have to, because the NFL has really lost a lot of favor probably the last 10 years. Because but as far as this goes, the NFL did put a little bit of effort. If there was some fixing to put the particular schedule in a certain way, then I guess that's an approach they had to do. because they gotta put butts in the seats.
So outside of the Cowboys and Giants, what Monday night games are you looking at?
I figure you would have taken a stronger approach. Aside as you would say, aside from Dallas and New York and Denver and Seattle, but what's interesting? Denver has there's two Monday Night Football games, and one of them is against Seattle, the other one's against the Chargers. So that rivalry game really takes into effect.
So What's not going to LA once? He's going to LA twice.
Yeah. Well, you got the Battle of Ohio. You got Cincinnati and Cleveland. That's something to look forward to.
That's cool.
And of course, you got your Rams and the Packers. Of course, we got Washington and against Philadelphia in Philadelphia on November 14th.
So pretty much the entire NFC East is playing each other on Monday Night Football. That's what we're doing.
Basically, so yeah, we got Dallas and New York, and then we got Washington and Philadelphia. Well, that's pretty much. Well, I mean, those NFC East games, but Philadelphia also has two Monday Night Football games at home. One of them is against Minnesota.
Ooh.
Yeah, you can just tell there was some deliberate fixing. Don't you guys feel it now? Yeah, something was definitely up, but I probably understand if they were to say it was with well intentions, I could understand it, but again, the NFL's reputation as far as corruption goes, I mean, that's been well documented for so long.
Lewis, I see the Pats on here twice.
Yeah, we got two big games. We're gonna host Justin Fields and the Bears. Most likely should be a easy win. No hard feelings to any Bears fans. I'm sorry, y'all didn't draft so well. I'm not gonna lie to you. Your coaching situation, GM situation's all really bad. O-line defense, that should be all right. The Arizona game and that entire right side is loaded because once we hit that stretch, we're looking at a lot of playoff implications with potential playoff matchups after that. We got to obviously deal with Arizona, but we got your Rams and Green Bay. Those last three games are just crazy. Rams, Green Bay, Chargers, Colts, and Cincinnati versus Buffalo. Those are all gonna come down to playoff seeding. Those 6 teams are gonna have to figure that out. And then obviously you have Colts are mixed in there. Arizona has 2 games. Eagles, is it a turnaround season for them with all the moves? The Ravens going to be healthy after all that? That whole right side for me is going to be super important. And I mean, the left side itself got a bunch of rivalry games. I think we have 4 in a row. Yeah, we have Cowboys, Giants, Rams at 49ers, Vegas, Kansas City, and then Broncos, Chargers. It's all lined up to just really, it's true, get butts in seats on Monday night. That is without a doubt.
2 Monday night games. One be going to Santa Clara. For some reason, they like having the Reds go on the road for Monday night games. When the last time the Reds hosted a Monday night game? That's what I want to know. When the last time we hosted a Monday night game? We always on the road for Monday night. We got to go back to Santa Clara. That's the first meeting with the damn 49ers. Is that the first meeting with 49ers? Let me look at. Nope, that's the first meeting with 49ers. Monday Night Football. Go figure. And then for the 3rd damn year in a row, we going to goddamn Lambeau Field. And what week is that? Man, that's in December, man.
The tundra.
Oh my gosh.
Is that the only good thing? That's probably the only good thing about LA nowadays is the beautiful weather. So the beautiful, perfect weather of LA going to the frozen tundra of Green Bay.
And you know what happened the last 2 years we've been to the frozen tundra because you heard
Sorry,
me.
guys. City of Angels? Yeah. I doubt that Los Angeles is really a city of angels now.
Because you heard me after the game how I felt. God damn it. All right. I'm going to get back to the Rams in a minute. I'm going to go ahead and get my... I'm looking at this. First of all, Cowboys and Giants on Monday Night Football does it for me because now that I know y'all on Thanksgiving and Monday night, they want to make sure the world watches Dak Prescott versus Daniel Jones. Okay. Is Dak Prescott who he says he is? And would Daniel Jones ever rise up?
I mean, they say that he probably will now because there's a good coach, but how many times have we seen good coaches thinking, we've seen bad players get a good coach and nothing happens out of that? At least nothing positive.
Russell Wilson going against the Chargers and Justin Herbert. Oh, I'm looking for that one.
I mean, some people are comparing Daniel Jones to Alex Smith because when Alex Smith, all those years in San Francisco, he didn't have a good season until 2011 when he was in the league for 6 years. I'm like, okay, don't compare Alex Smith to Daniel Jones.
That was very disrespectful. Very disrespectful.
I mean, but it is true. I mean, Alex Smith, all those years in San Francisco, all these different offensive coordinators. I mean, from 2005 2010, San Francisco the 49ers were definitely a below average to mediocre team.
No, I didn't notice.
And Alex Smith was a player who was always good, but he just did not have the tools around him. He didn't have the offensive system. I mean, he just wasn't a player of his skills and caliber. It was just not in the right system. And San Francisco was just playing around with it, thinking, okay, well, this is going to work, and it doesn't work. And then they finally bring in Harbaugh, but even that had to come to an end. And I was wrong. Jim Harbaugh, it was the 49ers. They drove him out of San Fran. So you can't blame him for leaving.
I can care less about Jim Harbaugh right now. Lewis, I just caught something. I don't think you catch it when you pointed it out. You said you were talking about the rivalries, right?
Yep.
Isn't it back-to-back weeks in the entire AFC West is playing?
Yep.
Then Raiders
gonna play
Chiefs,
each other back-to-back. Yep.
And then the Broncos, Chargers, and back-to-back weeks.
Yep. And then we get, obviously, that placeholder of the game. But then we get another in-division game going, the Battle of Ohio that Bearman talked about. That's another will that Deshaun Watson suspension be over? Is Deshaun versus Joe Burrow on Monday night? Man.
About this whole thing with Watson, he was cleared, right? Yeah. As far as that case goes, I think he was cleared, right?
No criminal charges.
See, and I don't understand. Because the problem is the NFL could still suspend him if they choose to. That is just, I mean, I don't even know what to say. I could criticize it all I want, but I don't understand. So he's not going to be criminally charged, but you still want to punish him? It's almost like you're punishing him because you wanted him to get charged and he didn't.
Bearman, didn't you write a piece on baseball about a certain player getting suspended?
Yeah.
And it's kind of like the same. It's kind of like the same thing.
Yeah, but suspended for 2 seasons.
Exactly. I'm just saying, like.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole thing with the baseball, I think it was a supposed session of consensual sex that supposedly went wrong. I mean, or at least that's the story that we're being told. But
I got an interesting one for y'all. Y'all ready for this? Y'all see November 28th? Is that Pittsburgh and Indianapolis? Would Kenny Pickett be the quarterback by then? Going against Matt Ryan? And that's something to be interested in right there. Just throwing that out there. And to win Monday night. Look how they ended Monday night. The day after New Year's.
Buffalo and Cincinnati.
Josh Allen versus Joe Burrow. The matchup that most people thought they was going to get, but, the Bills couldn't stop nobody for 13 seconds. Sorry, Buffalo fans.
Well, the Bills, no doubt they want the spotlight. I mean, they want the title. They're tired of being looked upon as the team that went to the Super Bowl 4 years in a row and did not get it done. Now, I'll be honest, my heart does ache for Jim Kelly, but regardless, he's a Hall of Famer. So you know what? He might be the Hall of Famer that couldn't win the big one, but he's a Hall of Famer. He made a difference.
All right. So, remember I told y'all to put that pin when we were talking about Thursday Night Football and we got to the Raiders and Rams? Lewis, listen to this stretch. Week 14, that's that Thursday night game. Week 15 is the trip to Lambeau Field, as you can see on the screen. Week 16 is Christmas Day against the Broncos. Week 17 is home is at SoFi Stadium Sunday Night Football against the Chargers.
Ooh, yeah, I'm feeling your pain right now. I'm feeling that pain.
I'm like, well, damn. I know we're Super Bowl champions, but damn, we getting on the spotlight to end the season. Thursday night, Monday night, Christmas Day, and Sunday night, all right behind each other.
They told Matthew Stafford to show up.
He been showing up. This is what Detroit and fans like me been trying to tell people. He doesn't have the most winning. He's not the most winningest comeback quarterback for no reason. With 44 for no reason. He's been doing this in Detroit. He plays in Detroit. Nobody watches Detroit. Okay, that's why they didn't know about it. He went to the Rams. Guess he was doing. He had his struggle. Tennessee on Sunday night and San Fran on Monday night, and you get a bye week. You come out the bye week, and you got to go to Lambeau Field. But Matthew Stafford is the comeback king. Not even Tom Brady has many comeback victories than Matthew Stafford, and Tom Brady been in the league longer. So that was a damn sure good point. Detroit has no primetime games. Who feels good about that? No Detroit in primetime situation. Just Thanksgiving.
Horrible.
I mean, it doesn't.
Matter of fact, they the only
team
team that doesn't have a primetime game. Even the Jaguars got one primetime game, and that's against the Jets.
There is some excitement with the Jaguars, at least.
Hey, I got their schedule, so you want to go over it real quick.
Speaking of the Jaguars, it's no surprise they play in London every year. If you know the owner, Shahid Khan, he also owns a soccer club in London.
Matter of fact, who do they play? Who do they play over in London? Oh, the Broncos.
Oh, that's right, yeah, the Broncos.
What's getting thrown everywhere?
And Broncos have been playing more in London the last couple of years, haven't they?
No.
No, I think it was Miami and Jacksonville last year.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it was.
And who told y'all that Jacksonville was going to win that game?
You did.
Exactly. So something about London, they play good over there for whatever reason.
It's the connections of the Khan family.
Not this year. I'm telling y'all right now, Jaguar fans, don't add me.
I mean, the list of the business accolades. The Fulham FC, All Elite Wrestling,
Russell Wilson. I don't even think Russell Wilson even been to London with the Seahawks. So the fact that I gotta look.
I think he might have once. I'm not sure.
Oh, Sierra's taken him enough times.
I'm talking about to play football. I'm pretty sure he's been to London, but I'm talking about playing football. Jaguars, don't get y'all hopes up because the fact that he got to open up the season against the Seattle Seahawks is going to piss him off. He already playing. He went from one tough division to the other tough division. He got to go back there twice because he got to play the Chargers. He going to tired of seeing the Rams on Christmas. Man, when he go to London, he's like, God damn it, we're going to win the season one, God damn it. That's when he going to be like, we're going to make sure we win this one. Don't lose to London. Don't lose to Jacksonville and London Broncos. If you want to be taken seriously, you cannot go to London and lose to the Jaguars. Okay, they got a new head coach. Yeah, Doug Peterson is a Super Bowl winning coach. But guess what? I always say this. Now I'm gonna get your thoughts on this, Lord, because this is just how I see coaching. Okay, if you bringing in a new coach, year one, it is what it is. Okay, the coach is trying to learn the team trying to learn the coach. It takes time to figure it all out. Unless you somehow get you a Sean McVay, lucky us, who just comes in, everybody loves him, everybody understands the system, and we're going to work it out. That's not always the case. That's like an outlier, okay? So for me, year one, it is what it is, okay? Year two, did you improve from year one, okay? You won this amount of games in year one. Did you improve in year two? Then when we get to year three, I say, now I need to see now I need to see and understand the direction the team is going. How you feel about that? That's my take on coaching.
Yeah, no, that makes the most sense. I think it's something we see in sports, like coaches. It's unless it's blatant. Like Urban Meyer, I think it was he stuck out like a sore thumb. I think it was too bad. There was all types of things. When your coach is in the media almost every other week, that's when you know it's a problem. But you always have to give the coach at least a year. To just figure it out. That's how it is. Same thing with these rookie quarterbacks. You put them in the flame. They got to figure it out. You have to do sort of a trial and error. And I think that's why Cliff Kingsbury, a prime example, he's 1 year, 2 year, 3 year. And it's slowly been building. So why not, give him a shot to see it? Not everyone is going to be a McVay or a Belichick or basketball's Greg Popovich, where you're just going to be there for 20 plus years and everyone's going to get it, and everyone that comes in is going to buy into every single system every single time. It's a learning process. And then Peterson's been out, obviously. They won their Super Bowl. He hasn't been around. Things didn't end well in Philly. The Carson Wentz situation, Jalen Hurts, benching, not benching, all that stuff ended up being a little funny. But I think Trevor Lawrence is ready, geared up. I think the Jags are, they've won some interesting games. We talked about them beating the Colts. They had that weird game against Buffalo. They have some pieces there, but they gotta wait and see it through. You had another draft. You brought in all these young pieces. Back-to-back years is number one. You're trying to bring in talent. Christian Kirk, I know, is a little bit of a question mark on that overpay. It's a pretty fat deal, but they're trying to bring in all this talent. You have to see how it works. At least a 3-year period might be it. And if it not, Doug P, back out on the market you go, man.
All right. To get ready to close the show out, I'm going to give everybody a solo cameo. So, Bearman, expectations for the Dallas Cowboys.
I have no expectations. I don't do that anymore.
All right. Plain and simple. He has nothing. He's not buying into nothing.
But like I said, whatever happens, happens. In your words, I'll believe it when I see it.
All right, Lewis, expectations for those New England Patriots.
Try to keep building on what we did. 10-win season. Honestly, it doesn't really get any better than that, especially the way everybody loaded up. You just got to hope and pray that the rest of these divisions just beat each other down. Hopefully the Browns can't get back up after the Deshaun suspension. Maybe the Raiders don't click, but it's going to be loaded. The Colts just have to be realistic. 9-10 wins is where we're floating on. We lost McDaniels. New offensive not even an offensive coordinator. We're doing like a by committee that we did back in like 2014. But we had Tom Brady when we did that. This is totally different. It's a second-year quarterback. I don't know what they're going to do, but if we don't make it to the playoffs, it is what it is. The dynasty didn't get rebuilt in a season.
All my Rams fans, everybody in Ramley Nation, we have the hardest schedule in the entire NFL. You heard me talk about the stretch. You heard me talk about it on Ramley Talk. We got me and sports judge Jonathan Malley. We said 12-5 for another year. That should get us to win the division and get us in the playoffs. Seeding, I don't know, because Green Bay does play in the NFC North, so they have a slight light schedule than us. Tampa Bay is in the NFC South, so they have a lighter schedule than we do, even though they are tied for fifth with the San Francisco 49ers who are in our division. So the goal to repeat is on tap now. We know our path to Arizona. Sean McVay, Leslie, they do what they do best. They bring in the talent. They draft well. So let's enjoy this ride, ladies and gentlemen. Let's enjoy the ride. All right. So now we got that out the way. Before we do our final words and send out, Bearman, the NFL season is out. What are you looking to for most of this NFL season?
Entertainment, I guess.
Entertainment, right to the point. Lewis, NFL season, what you looking forward to the most?
Sort of what's next to these cream of crops of quarterbacks. We have all these young guns, obviously, mainly in the AFC. You got Deshaun, you got Lamar, Burrow, Allen, Mahomes, Kyler out in the NFC. Trey Lance is also trying to make a come up. We had the whole, Ben Roethlisberger retired, and we saw Eli leave a few years ago, and Peyton's gone. Brady retired and came back. Sort of that older guard is starting to move. We're seeing Matt Ryan. You saw Drew Brees sort of as the next echelon of quarterbacks. These young guys really going to be able to take us to that promised land.
All right. He's focused on the young quarterbacks. Y'all hear that, right? Let's see what y'all do this season with the type of schedule that y'all have. So I'm looking forward to see the AFC West play out. We already talked about how the Russell Wilson is at Denver. We talked about J.C. Jackson, Khalil Mack, and all the moves the Chargers made. Devontae Adams coming back to play with his homeboy with Derek Carr and the Las Vegas Raiders. But yet and all, the Chiefs still won that division, correct? Now they don't have Tyreek Hill. They brought in Scantling from the Packers. They brought in who else they brought in? Juju from Pittsburgh. So
except that signing didn't get a good grade though. People aren't convinced by that move.
I don't blame them. You want to be on TikTok before pregame, before you getting ready for the game. Why are you on TikTok doing pregame? What are you doing? But hey, Andy Reid's the coach, and people believe in Andy Reid, so Andy Reid's gonna figure it out. But the ALC West, usually I would go to the MC West, but Debo Samuel and San Francisco having their issues, Kyler Murray and the Cardinals having their issues, especially now without DeAndre Hopkins for 6 games. Seattle's on the totem pole, so it should be I won't say smooth sailing for the Rams, but it should be a comfortable ride for the Rams through the division. So I'm looking forward to the other side of the West, the AFC West. I just want to see how it plays out. That's going to be very interesting. Okay. That's all I got for y'all. That's all we doing. So before we get out of here, Lewis, tell the people once again how they can find you.
Yeah, you can find us on Twitter at The Real Guy Talk Podcast. We're going to talk all things NFL, basketball, wrestling. We do a little bit of anime. There's all types of things guys love to talk about. That's where you can find us.
All right. Bearman, you know how this goes.
Find me on Twitter at Bearman of Texas, but just TX. You don't have to spell it out. You can check out any of my 5 shows, whether it's Wrestling with a Bear, which is pro wrestling, Cowboys Talk, which is my Cowboys podcast. Also got a new baseball one called Raking Around the Diamond. Got Internet FC, which is the show for all of you diehard soccer fans out there. And if you love video games, I also have a video game show. It's called Rage Quit. So I beg you, please subscribe to them, share them out, and please check out the merch at whatamaneuver.net for Wrestling with a Bear.
All right. And then let me get my solo shot in here. Y'all already know the Playmaker. Hoops Talk, which is going to be turned into shooting lights out when the new season get here from the playoff. I will get back into playoff mode hopefully real soon. Been trying to cover the NFL and do that and whatnot. Dude, y'all got a couple of game 7s tomorrow. We talking Bucks Celtics 3:30, Mavs Suns 8:00. I mean, the 2 famous words in all of team sport. I don't know if it's NBA, NHL, MLB, Game 7. I can't wait for it and get ready for the conference finals. It is what it is. Is that a Celtics jersey that I see right there? Is that a Jason Tatum jersey? Matter of fact, let me shout out to Jason Tatum, right? Raising Giannis 40 points, and he going for 46. Shout out to Jason Tatum on that. All right. So y'all see it. That's all I got for you. That's what we do, okay? Thank you to Lewis for jumping in on us. Y'all go follow him, subscribe to his podcast. I'll be doing it soon, especially when he say they talk wrestling too. So Bearman, we got a wrestling fan here. So.
Hold on. I got the.
So
You got
some Money in the Bank or
Young Bucks
SummerSlam coming up. I will get with the press on that because I would love to have Lewis join us and talk some wrestling with that.
Yes. I did go to SmackDown a few weeks back. That was pretty close by here. I'm trying to go to Survivor Series is up here in Boston in November. Fingers crossed on that one.
All right.
AEW is also coming in July. I'm trying to go to that. I missed their last show in Boston. That was Young Bucks versus FTR Part 2, and then Adam Cole versus Ishii. I missed it, sadly. Couldn't get to Boston.
All right. So that's all we got for you. That's Lewis. That's the Bearman of Texas. I'm the Playmaker. We are signing off, and we're going to sign off with what we do. Here's our promo video one more time for y'all to know every show that we do. Y'all have a good one.